What's up? What's up? Social retail. Modare, how we doing? John Melton coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm excited, jacked up, fired up as usual. And I'm really excited because we're going to have a dudes only broadcast. This might be the first time in Modare history since I've been here for 5 years that it was all men. We do have a lot of women kicking butt and taking names in Modare, but guess what? There are some dudes as well. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is John Melton. I've been in network marketing, direct sales, MLM, whatever you want to call it, for 19 years. Since 2001, I got started in the profession. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, had no idea what network marketing or direct sales was, but I got excited because they said you could be from Yale or jail, but you could be successful if you were coachable. It didn't matter what your background was. Didn't matter if you had any expertise or knowledge or any marketing skills or abilities whatsoever. And at the age of 20 years old, I got started in this profession. And I was hopeful for the first time in my life that I could actually do something that I was interested in doing, something outside of, hanging out with my friends, partying on the weekends. I don't know how many of you can relate to that. That was pretty much all I did up until I saw network marketing. And unfortunately, the first company I was with, they went out of business, got shut down, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about sales, leadership, personal development. I met my incredible wife, Nadia, who's somewhere in the background helping out with the technical side of things. Thank God, us dudes, we're not always the most tech savvy. But on a serious note, that changed my life. This industry, this profession has been life-changing, and it sometimes scares me to think what could have happened or what would have happened if I said no to network marketing, or if my best friend at the time didn't reach out to me and invite me out to a meeting. Back then we had these briefings that we did, and I went to the briefing and I was hook, line, and sinker. I was a total red apple, as they call people like me. I saw the vision. I saw the potential. I got excited about residual income. Why would you want linear income? It's like once you find out Santa Claus doesn't exist, you can't go back to believing that it does. Once I found out network marketing was real, once I found out residual income was real, I was hooked. And I learned so much in those early years, but I didn't do a lot of earning. It took me a while to become successful. And it was about 7 years before I finally created a full-time income when I was able to fire my boss. In fact, drop into the comments if your goal is to fire your boss or if you have fired your boss. But it took me 7 years to create a full-time income and 16 years to finally become a 7-figure earner. So this is not get rich quick. This is not, a pyramid scheme. This is not something where you're going to get in, you're going to have a ton of success and make a whole lot of money fast. Now, do people do that? Yes. In fact, I'm going to interview 3 individuals that all built their businesses in Modare quickly. But here's the reality. All of them have had success and experience in other companies. In fact, I came to Modare 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, and I was eager, I was excited, but I was also experiencing a little bit of MLM PTSD. Anybody else experience MLM PTSD? My light just went out. And it's back on, act of God. Anyway, I think a lot of us that have been in the profession, maybe you've done direct sales or network marketing before, maybe you've been in a company where it was all about recruiters recruiting recruiters to recruit more recruiters. You were selling an overpriced product. You were doing 3-way calls and home parties and all that nonsense. Well, here we do things very differently. You're going to learn about social retail today. You're going to hear some incredible stories from Glenn Rollins, Brandon Forbes, and also Justin Weeks. And all of these guys, they decided to partner with Modare because they saw the potential. They knew they could impact other people with this opportunity, not just from a health standpoint, right? We have some incredible products that we can talk a little bit about, but also from a financial standpoint and really being able to build a global business from home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wearing my nice shirt. Like, these guys are all dressed up looking good, but I think all of us are probably rocking board shorts right now, or gym shorts, or sweatpants, or something, right? Like, you don't have to go out there and do the home parties, the 3-way calls, belly to belly, knee to knee, sit down with people, eye to eye. You can build this entire business from your phone. And I think there's power in our system, the duplication model, and just really someone that's wanting to supplement their income can plug right into an existing system where we teach you what to say, what to post, how to show up, what to do every day to be successful to promote these incredible products. So I'm going to start off with Glenn. Glenn, if that's cool with you, just because the order that I see here. Glenn, if you could start off with sharing with everyone, you've had experience in the profession, you had some issues, your company had some issues, and you had to make a very difficult decision to start over somewhere else. And you could have partnered up with any company. So maybe you could start off, Glenn, just sharing a little bit about your story, your background, and why you chose Modere.
All right. Well, first of all, I feel honored to be on here with three of the top leading men, I would say, in the whole industry. Like, I know both of these guys. Justin actually lived 45 minutes from me, and he doesn't know that the company he came from was in competition with my company. And I was like, man, like, where are all these people coming from? And Justin was actually my competition. So I'm glad to be working with my competition. Brandon's a phenomenal leader, excited to be with him. And John, I could talk about him all day. So it's an honor to be here. I've been in the industry for about 8 years now. And whenever I found the industry, I was a professional college student. We have any professional college students out there? So I changed my major 4 times. You had electronic engineering, diet nutrition, kinesiology, exercise science. But I kept taking these student loans out, and I was like, man, this money's awesome, but I wasn't thinking about the consequences. And I just kept doing it. And I dug myself in about $90,000 in student loan debt. And I was thinking, man, like, one day, I have to get married, but what woman's going to want to marry a guy with a 480-point credit score, a guy with $90,000 in debt? I was living paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, what really did it for me is 2 weeks before I said yes to the industry, I went into a gas station, went to buy an Aquafina water, overdrafted $2, ended up costing me $33. Look, like, something has to change. I told many people no, decided to get started. I fell in love with the products, with the company I was in. I didn't know there was a better way. Somebody there has a better way. I'll get to that in a minute, but I didn't know what I didn't know. So I got started on the products. Like John said, we did things the old fashioned way. We were driving all over the country, doing home parties. Literally, I bought this new car, and literally within 2 years, I think I put on 140,000 miles on my brand new car from driving all over the country, doing 3 phone calls. And rewinding back, I was like, okay, one day I want to get married. What woman's going to want to marry a guy that's on the phone all the time? So I was on the phone all the time. I was doing all these home parties. And another thing is, I was winning. Me and Brandon, we went on several incentive trips together. We were winning, but our team wasn't winning. It's like, there's just something missing here, and luckily, by the grace of God, our old company said, you know what, guys, we're going to fire you guys. You're now going to become a retail company, and you need to find another place of business. But luckily, I'd been plugged into the system with John probably like a month or 2 prior to what happened with our company. So I started doing my research. The foundation was already set by me getting into the system. And I joined one day after what happened with my company, and it was off to the races. I was like, not to say that Modere is easy, because it's not. Like, no company is easy. But when I went from doing 3 phone calls to driving all over the country, to just being plugged into a system where we simply put people into a group, just like you guys are in social retail live right now, or social retail right now, and you're seeing other successful people. You just plug people into a group, you put them in a group message on Facebook, super simple, like I said, I was put into one with John that's real simple. We might send people a video, and that's it. Anybody can do that. Now, in my old business, I had to be the one doing all the 3 phone calls. Not everybody wants to do that, but anybody can plug somebody in to a system. And then simply what I did in the beginning is I just put my sponsor in as many chats as possible. I learned what she said and what John did, and then it was off to the races from there. And another thing that I really loved about the company is, John's whole team page, all we do is we put you on the team page and tell you to go to Unit 1. All the training is in order. So we have an unlimited amount of tools. You can go to your app, you can find tools. We have 3 different apps for the business. Our customer app, it actually, when your customers download the app, it actually looks like an Amazon Prime app. You go on there and it says skincare. It'll say health and wellness. It'll say, and everything is laid out. So the customer has an app, And what's cool is there's no pressure on that app or the customer website for a customer to join the business. You know, in my other company, it was more pressure. If you want to earn money, it was more pressure on pushing the business. Well, over here, we have a 10-to-1 customer to rep ratio. You know, so that's a really huge thing when the FTC is looking down on is you want to have a lot of customer retention. Like I said, the customer has no pressure. You know, we have that app. We also have coupons that we can give people. I thought that was genius. Like everybody loves a good sale. If you like a good sale, drop in the comments. You love a good sale. Always. So every time you talk to somebody, hey, I have a $10 off coupon I can give you. That automatically gets people in the door, makes people want to do more. We have an amazing referral program over here where you can earn up to 250 product credit just as a customer without even selling anything. You can earn up to $250 in free product credits each month, which I thought was phenomenal. We also have, if people are skeptical, a 30-day money-back open bottle guarantee on all the products, which is you can actually take the products for about 25 days, send it back, get your money back. Our company's worldwide. Like my last company was just in the United States and it finally went to Canada. We're literally all over the world. I have teams in New Zealand, Australia, Spain, Canada. And so, like I said, what I love is I would say the time freedom. You know, to be honest, in the beginning, I put in a lot of work. I put in a lot of hustle work. I told my family what I was going to do. I established a foundation. Now I have ground rules. Family time is family time. All right. In my old company, if there's a 3-way phone call time, like, you know, sorry, family, I got to step out of the movie real quick. I have to do this call. Like, you don't understand. So in the morning, I'll do what's called a power hour. I'll hit it hard for an hour, go take care of family, introduce John or Bryn into a group chat, and then they can handle from there. So I feel like we have a lot more time freedom. And I don't want to say Justin and Brandon probably wants to say a lot of what I'm saying, so I'm not gonna say too much, but I just think there's no company in the world like this. The culture, those two guys can tell you, coming from other companies and coming to Modere, everybody feels like a winner here. Women, men, somebody who is just a hobbyist, you know, the 5%ers like us four, we all feel like winners. When you get your first sale, you're going to get shouted out to the rooftops. When you get your first customer, and not just the people that are at the top gets all the praise. Everybody here gets praise. Everybody feels like, you know, like they fit in. The leadership. Once you guys see John's leadership, my sponsor Bryn's leadership, we have the best leadership I've ever seen in my life. And I would say the top in the industry, not just in our company. So I don't want to steal their thunder, so I'm gonna let them. I probably just said a lot of what they're gonna say, so.
No, it's all good, man. Look, you hit the nail on the head multiple times, and I think a lot of us can appreciate the fact that, you know, if you're just starting out and you're just trying to get a couple customers and make a couple $100, like there's support, there's people that are going to recognize you, shout you out. And it's not just about, you know, the big leader that comes over with lots of influence, and those are the only people getting recognized. Those are the only people that are getting shouted out. And I think, you know, you also mentioned the customer to rep ratio. I mean, it's crazy that, you know, like right now we've got some special promotions that are happening and the team is just lighting it on fire. And some of these people are literally making more money this month than they've ever made in their life doing anything ever. Right. And you can't put a price tag on that considering what's going on in the world with, you know, all the uncertainty, the economy, and all the things that are going on. Like there's never been a better time to start an online business, start a business from home. And I think, you know, the system we have is hands down the best online system out there. And then of course it helps to have great products that are affordable, a company that gets it and speaks the same language. So Glenn, those were all excellent points. I'm going to come back to you. Brandon Forbes, what's going on, brother? So Brandon, I'm really excited to introduce you to everybody also because you got started literally a year ago this month. You came in guns blazing, just like Glenn, just like Justin, you know, enrolled a lot of people, ranked up to elite within your first month and a half, you know, 2 months into the business. You know, you had a 5-figure payday. Don't want to make income claims, but you had quick results because you had experience, you had expertise, and you found something that you could truly believe in and help the average person. So would love to have you, Brandon, also share a little bit about your story, your perspective, and why you think things are growing like they are here with this opportunity. Yeah, man, you're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me okay with my headphones in? Okay, cool. Good stuff. Yeah. So Glenn and I actually came from the same company. He kind of referenced that a couple of times. So, you kind of get a little bit about, our background in the industry. But my wife and I, we actually got introduced to network marketing on accident in 2013. We became a discount customer in a company where the only way you could get a discount was to become a rep. And that's most of those old school internal consumption models. If you want a discount, if you want wholesale pricing, just become a rep and you can get a discount. And that's kind of how you get roped into the business. Well, guess what? It worked for us. And so they got us in the business, and we got great results on the products. And it just so happened that we weren't quite to the point of, being completely disgusted with our financial and time circumstances, but we got that way. And we remembered that it was shared with us that there was an opportunity attached to those products that we were loving. And so, Amanda and I, my wife and I, sat down and we thought to ourselves, man, what if this could be an answer? And so just a little bit about our background. So I was in the military for about 8.5 years prior to getting started in network marketing. My wife worked kind of a standard corporate full-time desk job at a big business here in town. And we were both grateful, yet highly unsatisfied, if that makes any sense. And so I was in a special operations unit. So I was, gone 6 to 9 months out of the year, training or deployed. When I was home, I was working 70 hours a week. Amanda worked 50 hours a week. And it was at the end of 2013 when she was pregnant with our first, who is now 7, which is crazy to think about, that, she kind of caught herself at that job, looking out the window, watching the cars go by, thinking to herself, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Because really, in my heart of hearts, I want to be at home with my kids, And so we were both, like I said, completely dissatisfied with where we were. And so, we got to a big corporate event with that first company in Dallas Cowboy Stadium and in Dallas, Texas. And, my eyebrows got blown off. I caught a vision. We came home, and our first 12 months in that business, we became 6-figure income earners, walked away from those 2 previous careers. And over the course of about 6 years from that point, we built, a multi-7-figure business with thousands of people on our team. And in May of 2019, like Glenn alluded to, we got on a Zoom kind of like this, except it was our CEO on the other side. And essentially we got told, hey, we've been investigated by the FTC. They didn't tell us that, but that's what happened. And we're being forced to change our business model from multi-level to single level. So what that meant for a family like us was that, boom, overnight, we were losing a multiple 6-figure income, and we literally had a multiple 6-figure income lifestyle and $0 coming in. And so we were kind of put in a position where we had to decide what we were going to do. And I knew that I was going to make it happen for my family. I didn't know how, but I started to get creative like dads do and like husbands do. And I started to kind of problem solve. I don't know if any of you guys out there that are men that are listening are fixers, right? So I thought to myself, like, how can I fix this? And I thought about the mortgage industry. I thought about getting into real estate. I thought about, doing all types of different commission-based sales positions. And here's what I came down to every single time I went down one of those paths in my mind. Maybe I could go make a lot of money, but I'm never going to see my wife and I'm never going to see my kids. And I know legacy is important to me. I didn't marry my wife because I never want to see her. And I didn't have kids because I don't want to be their dad, right? And so I knew in that moment I could go do other things to make money, but there was no other industry on the planet that I knew of that was legal that could also give me time freedom and flexibility. And so we knew we had to find another home. My story is a little bit different than Glenn's. We did not come here 2 days after that happened with that company. We actually ended up following our previous leadership to another company. Was not the right fit for a lot of different reasons. And if you guys have ever been in a situation where maybe there's been culture issues, or you have a difficult product to explain, or there's no system in place and everybody's scrambling around trying to figure out how to make the business work, but nobody's making the business work. I don't know if anybody can relate. That's been a part of, other companies or other businesses, but that's where we were. And we knew that where we were was not the place where we could, one, build, success again for our family and create freedom again for our family. But we truly didn't believe that we could create success for other people. And we originally got involved in this industry because we were money motivated. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, I saw that there was people that were making 6 and 7 figures. I was making 45 grand a year in the Army getting shot at. And I wanted to do something different, right? I saw other people winning at a much higher level than I was. And I was attracted to those things. But I found out very quickly that money got me in, but impact was what it was all about. It was about finding other people helping them change their life, be it physically or financially, with the products, with the business. And here's what's cool. You get paid for impact here. The bigger your impact, the more you earn, right? Your paycheck is just a scorecard for the amount of people that you're helping. And so when we knew that wasn't the right place for us to be in that second company, I've been following John on online. He and Nadia have a phenomenal, just generic network marketing coaching platform. And we talk, back and forth a little bit in Facebook Messenger. I got some of his courses, and I just felt like, God put it on my heart that I was supposed to reach out to him. So I did. Just so happened the night that I reached out to him, there was a company webinar, which is funny because we don't even do company webinars here. Like, we have our amazing ATM system where we would just add people to the group like what you're in right now. We tag them in some content, we pop in a group message, and that's our system. But there just so happened to be the once a quarter company webinar thing that you could plug people into. I got on, I caught a vision, and we got off to the races. And what's crazy is what we lost, that giant business that we built and the income attached to it, that took us 6 years to build, we were able to recover in 60 days here, and got back to the point very quickly where not only were we on our feet, but our team was on freaking fire. And that's what's so exciting about this culture in this place is I'm not the only one winning anymore, right? Success is extremely lonely and unsatisfying if you're the only one that's experiencing it in your organization. And here, not only are Amanda and I winning at a high level, but we have multiplied more people on our teams who are hitting top ranks in the compensation plan, multiplied more people on our team who are making, and I'm not going to even say a dollar amount, that's probably a bad idea, a lot of money. We just had a girl who literally, she calls it failed. I say she was practicing, but she, quote, failed in her words at 3 other companies and came here and made $5,500 her very first month. Now, am I telling you that's going to happen to you? No. Am I telling you that if you're in Modere right now and that didn't happen to you your very first month, can you not have success long term? Absolutely not. Everybody's story is different. But my point is, this is a culture and a place of winning, and it's a whole lot of fun to be a part of.
100%, brother. And it's interesting too, because a lot of people that come over here are making their income, especially in the beginning, not from recruiting and team building. There's some of that, right? In fact, you'll hear from Justin. I think Justin was Justin, how many people did you enroll your first month? Was it like 60, 61, 62, something like that? Yeah, so Justin was like, this is a recruiting machine. I think Glenn and Brandon, same thing, recruited a lot of people their first month. I enrolled 38 people, but that's not the norm, right? You'll see more people come in and enroll 30 customers their first month, 10 customers, 15 customers, and make a significant income, make a profit in that first 30 days, just from the promoter side of our plan, where you can earn 10% right out of the gate, all the way up to 36%. We had a woman the other day, Yesenia Hernandez, the first day we launched a promotion this Monday, 13,000 in sales in one day. Now, is that normal? No. Is it possible? Yes, because of our system and our social retail model and the products and all the things we do. So it's really exciting to see someone come into this opportunity, like Brandon mentioned, failed, and 3 other companies, but came here, was able to earn a check with a comma and make a significant income, mostly from promoting the products. And then, hey, if you want to take advantage of both sides of the plan, like the 4 of us have, go for it. In fact, I encourage every single person getting started to shoot for the experience. The experience is really a great way to create a story of success in the beginning, where you enroll 3 social marketers, each of them on an XM kit. We've got the ultimate kit, which is the best option, but it depends on your financial situation to just, pick a kit that works best for you getting started. And then enroll 10 customers. Get yourself to what we call Silver Team Leader. Silver Team Leader, your enroller, your sponsor, the person you're working with, the team, the leadership you're working with can explain more about that. But get yourself the Silver Team Leader ASAP so you can earn an iPad, an iWatch, an experience of some sort, a shopping spree, a vacation, a getaway, whatever. But this is something the company puts on the table for those of you when you first get started. And it's neat because then once you do it, you can teach other people how to do it. So Brandon, appreciate you. Justin, would love for you to start off with just sharing a little bit about your story. Again, a little unique to the rest of us, right? You were in a situation where you were with the same company that's still in business. You know, as far as we know, they're still doing well, but you were there for years and decided to pivot. You decided, you know what? I want to do something different. I remember when we first connected, I think you were going to wait till next year to get started. But then we had a conversation.
Right.
You watched a couple of videos. You watched that MLM comparison video. You checked out the groups and you were like mind blown. You're like, let's just do this now. So maybe you could talk about your story and you getting started, why you decided to partner up with Modere. I know you and Aaliyah are very serious about making a big splash and helping a lot of people with this company. So excited to hear your story, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to share the stage with you studs for sure. So, but yeah, 8 years ago, I was introduced to the profession by a friend of mine that I served in Iraq with in the Army, and wasn't looking for anything. I was a Louisiana state trooper. So Aaliyah and I, we live in Lake Charles, Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana. We have 5 children. Well, my son has autism, my 8-year-old. And I was a state trooper. I ended up being a SWAT operator there. And I taught the defensive tactics in Baton Rouge, which was about 3 hours from where I live. But I was just always gone. I was either working, patrol, getting called out for SWAT training, you know, just seemed like I was never home. I was either working or sleeping. So my buddy asked me to take a look at, you know, this type of business. I was reluctant. I was hesitant. I don't know. I was one of those people that maybe thought they were too cool, you know, but I've kind of always had that entrepreneurial spirit. And I just never had anything to apply it to. But when I took a look at the lifestyle, like Brandon talked about, you know, not only can you earn a lot of money, but you can have some time to go with it. I knew a lot of people that earned a lot of money. Just none of them had any time. And I knew people that had a lot of time, but none of them had any money. And quite honestly, I didn't have any time or any money. I was making about what Brandon was making in the Army as a state trooper, about around mid 40s, 40,000 a year. So I wasn't providing for my family like I wanted to, nor was I as present of a father as I would like to have been. And, you know, as far as the shift, you know, I earned 7 figures in that company. I was there 8 years. I mean, in the duration that I was there, I earned 7 figures, multiple 6-figure income, and it changed my life. I grew as a person tremendously through the personal development. Just, it was very enlightening. Like you were talking about earlier, once you've seen the light, you can't hardly go back. You know, once you're aware what's possible with a business like this, you can't just go back to trading time for money and hours for dollars. It's just not possible, honestly. So was building the business. Things, I don't want to say anything negative about where I came from, because there's a lot of great people there, great company. I'm not one to tear another building down to make mine look taller. But, you know, Aaliyah and I, we were just talking. We looked through our team of thousands of people, and there were just very few of them earning, you know, great money. Like we were doing well. But, you know, John, when you and I had that conversation when I reached out to you, and I'll never forget it. And I thank God every day that you took the time to talk to me. But one of the things John asked me, he said, so he's like, I know you're crushing it, but he's like, how many people on your team are crushing it? And I mean, when I tell you it was like a punch to the chest, I mean, I could count on one hand, you know, I mean, and that's the truth. Out of thousands and thousands of people, I could count on one hand how many people were making this, you know, significant income. That's not good, especially from a leader's perspective. You know, just from an integrity standpoint, I had a hard time saying, hey, you know, to continue to bring people into that model, knowing the likelihood of them having great success was slim to none. It was.
Right.
So,
and can we just say this too? That was 7+ years. It wasn't like 7 weeks,
right.
7 months, 7+ years. So when you're with the company for that long, and you don't see people winning, that's a problem, right? So if someone just got started with Modere 7 weeks ago, okay, well, you know, you're just getting started. But if 7 years from now, you're the only one making money, that's a problem. So you hit the nail on the head, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So that was a major mindset shift for me to say, hey, I want my team to win too. So, you know, we prayed about it. We talked about it. And when you know, like I said, I told you, hey, let's give it to the end of the year. But once I'm a decision, like I can't do that. Like once I know something, I have to act. It's just my personality.
Right.
So
you couldn't put it back in the box.
Right. So knowing it was the right decision, I had to make a move, and we did. We came on board August 18th. So I guess, exactly 3 months ago to the day. And gosh, it's been a breath of fresh air. I mean, I have people, John, on my team. I mean, Brianna, Casey, some names you probably recognize. So many of them. I don't want to even start naming because there's a ton of them. But people that were in, that I know worked in this profession for years and years and years, have put their heart and soul into it, gone to events, destination events. I mean, on every conference call, and had little to no success, and have now come here. And like Brandon said, I mean, they're hitting top ranks in the company and just making things happen. It's so fulfilling as a leader and so rewarding, to see that. It just confirmed that it was the right decision. And man, we have just had a blast. And I can't thank you enough, for the way you serve, and the way, because I mean, we all know you're one of the top earners in the world in this profession. I mean, for you to take the time that you do to give back to us and answer, our texts and our calls, and, when you're doing other things, and you could easily just sit back and enjoy the passive income, but you don't, man. And you're making a big impact in a lot of people's lives, including ours. So, we don't take that lightly. So it's been awesome, man. We're very glad to be here at Modere. It's words can't describe it. So
that's awesome. Well, we have a ton of people on, and I know everyone really appreciate you guys hopping on and sharing, middle of the day, having this conversation. And I would just like to ask if each of you could maybe share 1 to 2 tips, like, maybe a getting started tip, or a tip that you think is really important for someone that wants to get to 6 figures. They want to get to the elite ranks. Maybe each of you kind of share your own perspective of, really where you see this company going and what you see as potential for someone that is either getting started, or maybe it's somebody watching this and they're like, I'm ready to level up. Like maybe they're a team leader, maybe they're a director, but they're wanting to get to that elite rank. So I'll let you guys kind of take it from there, but maybe we can just go in order: Glenn, and then Brandon, and then Justin, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. So I do believe, like they all said, that anybody can win here, and I have so many tips that I could give out. But some of the tips that I would say, number 1 would be ask your questions. The people who ask us the most questions, I would believe, are the people, honestly, on my team, those are the people who earn the most income. Build cross-line relationships. Me and Brandon, whenever Brandon first came in, he's asking me questions all the time. I didn't mind answering. That's what I love about our company, is we all help each other. So build those cross-line relationships, ask your leader questions daily. Consistency is key. So some people will come in, they'll do it for about 2 weeks, then they'll take a week off, they'll do it for 2 weeks, and trust me, your team notices that. If you're not being consistent and showing up, well, do you think your team is going to be consistent and showing up? And then as far as people who want to run, your consistency may be talking to more people in a day. If you talk to 1 person a day, you're going to earn a certain amount of income. If you talk to 10 people in a day, 20 people in a day. Brandon, Justin, and myself, in our first 45 days, I believe we all were on the same track. How many people do y'all think we talked to hit elite in our first 45 days in the business? It wasn't 1 person a day. It wasn't 2 people a day. It was an insane amount of people per day. And what do we do when we talk to those people? We put them in a group chat. We put them in the group. So don't think that you're above the tools. Use the tools. Use your sponsors. Edify them. But again, it's a numbers game. It's being consistent. Not everybody's going to say yes in the beginning. They're going to watch you. But if you're not consistent 2 months from now and they're watching you, you're not posting and you're not doing anything, they probably would have joined your team. I have a couple, Sarah and David Bentley. I talked to them on May 19th, and they told me no for at least 8 months. And those guys are earning multiple 6 figures now, but I followed up with them 27 times. So how good is your follow-up game going to be? How many people are you going to talk to? How many questions are you going to ask your leaders? And
Glenn, can I also say something real quick?
Yeah.
I doubt when you followed up with David and Sarah, I doubt every time of the 27, you were like, hey, you guys ready to join? Hey, you ready to join? Hey, you guys ready to join? I'm sure some of those conversations were just you touching base. How you guys doing? Staying in touch with people, because you'd be surprised how many people eventually come around. But like you said, it's them seeing you consistently show up and knowing that you care more about the relationship, you care more about them and their success, you're asking questions, you kind of alluded to that, talking to your upline, but also talking to your prospects, asking them questions, finding out hot buttons, and really identifying, how you can help this person, and not just making it about you making money and being selfish and having, as I call, stinky commission breath, right? So I think that's a really important thing to point out as well. Staying in touch with people is a huge deal, because most people are not going to join after one or two conversations.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And with the Bentleys, for example, I asked them how they were doing all the time. Like, when they make a post on Facebook, man, looks like your family's doing great. So just build those connections. And if somebody says no, you're, like you said, your next time you meet them shouldn't be, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Right.
They're definitely going to get rid of you. So build that relationship, ask questions, and talk to an insane amount of people and use the systems.
I love it. Genuinely care about people, follow the system, be coachable, work your face off, ATM your face off. And again, you mentioned this in the beginning, there's training in place. So once you plug in with your leader, there's going to be training that's step by step. And of course, there's a whole team of people, not just one person. There's a whole team of people here to support you. And you're in business for yourself. You're never by yourself. So Glenn, I appreciate you, brother. You're the man.
You the man. Thanks.
All right, Brandon Forbes, let's hear it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because Glenn hit on pretty much everything that it takes to be successful. I mean, our business is really simple. It's not easy, but it's simple, right? So we could sit here all day long and talk about use the systems, master the ATM process. But I mean, you go through the units 1, 2, and 3 in our team Facebook group, and you know exactly what to do. I mean, there's literally, I always tell people there's 7 figures worth of training in our team page alone. And all you have to do is learn that stuff, and then you just have to apply it to your business, right? So I won't get into a lot of the how-tos with the business stuff, but maybe talk a little bit about action and mindset, because I feel like, when people come to Amanda and I, and this happened in our first company because we grew fast, and, it happens here because we've grown fast and we're growing fast. And while that's really exciting, I feel like a lot of times people think it's about what you do versus how you think and how much of what you do you actually do, if that makes any sense. So I think that a lot of times people are fed the whole get rich quick. Our business is easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort, 1 hour a day, and you're going straight to the top, baby. And here's the thing, like, somebody can make some great part-time supplemental extra income here with a little bit of time. We've got people on our team who they probably have 30 minutes to an hour to put into their business a day. They follow our activity tracker that you guys have provided, the Fame Tracker in Unit 1. They go through the Power Hour technique, and they're building a great business. They're making hundreds and even, in a few cases, a couple grand a month, just focusing on their business for that small amount of time. But for people who really want to build it big, we've got to look at it like something that we're so passionate about that we want to work at every chance we can get. And I feel like that's the difference between a top earner and somebody who's just earning some, right? And here's the thing. If you're listening to this right now and you're just going, man, I just want to make a couple $100, or man, I just want to get my products paid for, man, I just want to share this stuff with people to make an impact because I love the belly blaster and the liquid collagen, that's awesome. It's justified, it's amazing, and it's perfect because that's your size goal. But if you are somebody who does want to build it big, we are going to have to take some more action. We're going to have to put in some more, I always like to say, blood, sweat, and tears. It goes back to my sports days and the Army days, right? Like, it's the amount of energy that you put into something that determines the output on the other end. And so if you are somebody who really does want to build fast, and by the way, November and December last year were the 2 months that we went elite, right? So we got started, launched our business very beginning of November. I think we hit Director 3 maybe the first month. And then the middle of the next, or the end of the next month, we hit elite, right? So you can do this right now. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to get the same results. So if you don't get to elite by the end of December, don't inbox me because it's not my fault. But what I am telling you is this: if you have hyper focus on something and you allow yourself to become so passionate about it that it almost, in a sense, kind of consumes you, you're going to want to work your business as much as you possibly can. And you'll look at it as an opportunity versus an obligation. Like when we got started in this business, it wasn't, oh, I have to go find some people to talk to, or, oh, I have to go do a live video, or I have to go message people and get them in the ATM system, or I have to go follow up, or I have to help my teammates. It was, I want to, I get to, I'm excited to. And I would just encourage you, if you are somebody who wants to make it big in this industry, this profession, in this company, and you want to make it big relatively quickly, always remember this: intensity is the shortcut to results in anything that you do. 100% of the time. It's not about what you do in the spotlight when everybody's looking. It's about what you do in the dark. It's about being consistent all the time. And I just want to give you a bit of encouragement. If you're a mom and you're listening to this right now, or if you're a dad, or if you work a full-time career, you can have it all. Don't believe the lie that you can't build a successful business and be successful in your career.
Right.
Don't believe the lie that you can't become successful in network marketing and be a phenomenal mom or a phenomenal dad or a phenomenal spouse, because you can have it all. That's the beauty in our system. It's just about discipline. It's about making sure that you're spending, the most valuable thing that you have on this planet, your time, as wisely as you possibly can. And you're not getting wrapped up in the politics and how many votes were inaccurate in Georgia. And you're not getting wrapped up in all the garbage. And now I completely blew this, because if people watch it in the future, they're going to know when we're doing this presentation. But what I'm saying is this, guys, like, there's things that are going to move you forward in life, and there's things that aren't. And I would encourage you, if you want to grow, if you want to succeed in any area of your life, just put more intentional focus and intention in that area, and you will begin to produce better results. And then on top of that, I think that, we've got to have some mental toughness. I know there's ladies and there's guys that are listening to this right now, but I want to talk to the fellas for just a second, because I see a lot of really hard guys get started in this profession. And when their friends start cackling them about being a part of one of those things, or, when a couple buddies say no and make you feel like you can't be successful, you believe a lie. And I just want to go ahead and encourage you real quick, like, you're tougher than that, right? Get your mind and get your vision so focused on where it is that you want to be for you, for your life, for your future, for your kids, for your spouse, for your family. Guys, listen, you get to walk this planet once. Do you want to live it big, or do you want to live it small? The choice is yours. And at the end of your life, you're going to have to look back, and you're going to have to own that choice. So men, I want to encourage you, live big, be bold, quit being a chicken, get out there and chase down what it is that you want in this life, because you get one shot. And then the last thing is just follow the systems, follow the systems. And remember, it's not just about the fact that we have perfected curiosity and attraction marketing on social media. It's not just about the fact that we have tons of training. It's not just about the fact that we can add people to a group and tag people and we can message people. It's about how much we're doing those things, right? And remember, you don't have to work this full time to earn an incredible income. You just have to be extremely intentional and focus on the things that pay you the most money, the result producing activities on the tracker. Posting more on social media, if it's not flooding your inbox with interested leads, do it consistently. And it's important to market and brand yourself and all those things, but you got to do the behind the scenes stuff too. You got to be reaching out to people, getting in their inboxes, starting conversations, having the courage to ask people if they're open to taking a look at the products or the business. And then here's the last thing that I think that I can offer that will hopefully help people more than anything else, because this is what radically changed my life. 100% commit to an ongoing path and the ongoing process of personal growth and personal development. I read 56 books my first 12 months in network marketing, and it paid me 6 figures. And I know that when I showed up to the doorstep of this industry, it wasn't anything that I was going to plug myself into that was going to create a lack of success. It was me. It was the internal garbage that I needed to purge out by getting quality into my brain, by flooding my mindset with material from other wildly successful people. Here's the cool thing about reading a book. Like, I remember thinking this the first time I read it. The very first leadership book I ever read was 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this guy is one of the foremost leadership experts on the face of the planet. Like, he's written more books and published more books on leadership than any other human being in history. And I get to literally sit down and I get to, essentially read 300 pages that is just kind of a synopsis of his entire life and everything that he's learned over the span of the last several decades in this area of leadership and personal growth. And guys, I'll tell you right now, like, it's nobody's fault. The circumstances that we live in right now, the life that we're living, the results that we've produced, it's nobody's fault except for ours. And if we want to change our life, we just have to change our mindset. And the easiest way to do that is by paying attention to what you consume and by paying attention to who you surround yourself with. And if you focus on those things, the systems are good. Everything that the products here, I've never seen more products that are more market correct. Like, we literally have people that throw up a curiosity post on their Facebook wall to launch their business, and they have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 people who want information. Like, it's insane how marketable our products are. But at the end of the day, what produces the big results, what produces the long-term success, it's the person that stares back at us in the mirror. And as soon as we realize that and we own it and we focus on growing ourselves so that we can produce better results, that's when things will really start to move in the right direction.
Amen, dude. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is the X factor in order to be successful, really in anything, but especially in this profession. You have got to be reading, learning, listening, growing yourself harder than you grow your business. We can tell you what to do every day, what to say. We've got scripts for every situation. We've got examples of launch videos, curiosity posts, attraction marketing training. We've got the best leaders here to support you. But if you don't develop your mindset and you have that stinking thinking, those limiting beliefs that are holding you back, you'll never achieve greatness. And I know for me, and I think each one of these individuals, these gentlemen can attest to this, but if you don't have a burning desire to grow yourself as badly as you want to grow your business, you'll never win big in this profession. And that's part of the reason it took me such a long time to achieve consistency in my business, because I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of insecurity. I had a lot of doubts of my worthiness. I didn't believe in myself as a leader. And, you know, I think most of us probably start out that way. So you can all relate to this, but I had a deep fear of public speaking. I had a deep fear of failure, embarrassment, all the things that most of us are carrying this baggage. We're either carrying the excuse bag or the blame bag. Drop the bags, right? Go out there and work on yourself and be okay with starting small, right? You don't have to have confidence in the beginning, but you should be courageous. And I think when you plug into the system and, you know, you follow the great leaders that we have within this team and within this company, they're going to give you a lot of inspirational ideas, tips, and knowledge. But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to do the work and show up every single day. We can't do it for you. I wish I could hire someone to do my push-ups for me, but it just don't work like that. So Brandon, great advice. I'm so glad you mentioned the importance of personal development. Justin, I'll let you take it away, my friend.
All right. So yeah, just to kind of go along with what you guys are talking about, because it's absolutely so true. 90% of business is psychological. 10% of it's the how-to, the physical part of it. So like Glenn talked about the system, how simple it is. Brandon alluded to it as well. That's the easy part. That's 10% of the deal. 90% of it is why you're doing it. Your desire, John talked about in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. The first chapter is desire. That's the starting point of all achievement, is what he says. And why you do something is 90% of it. Let's face it, the how-to parts, it isn't going to matter anyway if you don't have the desire to get up and get it done. But, you know, when you're building a business like this, people, especially when it comes to recruiting and building a team, people join people. They don't join companies. So, you know, they're talking about personal development, personal growth. When you're showing this business to somebody, you're talking to them about, you know, getting involved in a business, especially from a business building standpoint, they're looking at you. They're assessing you, whether they're doing it consciously or subconsciously. They're looking at you saying, do I want to be like this person? Do I want to come across to the world like this person's coming across to the world to me right now? And if the answer is no, honestly, it doesn't matter how great the compensation plan is, how great the team culture products are. You're either attracting people to you or repelling them from you by who you are. You know, Jim Rohn says we're always going to be paid in direct proportion to the value that we add to the marketplace. Well, how valuable are you? Well, the good thing is anybody can become more valuable. Reading 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, or, you know, surrounding yourself with people like John, Glenn, and Brandon, and so many other leaders that, you know, are out there bettering themselves each and every day. So who you associate with, what you're reading, what you're listening to, the things that you're inputting in your mind, how you program your mind is going to determine what you think. How you think is going to determine how you feel. How you feel is going to determine how you act, which will ultimately lead to your results, which will then reinforce how you think. It's going to build your confidence when you start getting great results. But the first thing you have to do is work on you. It's the most important thing. Write down your goals. Say, hey, why do I want to build this business? get with your wife. Aaliyah and I, we build this together. She's an amazing asset. She's the backbone of this whole thing. So, get with your spouse, get with your children, say, hey, this is going to take some sacrifice. It's going to take some time, to get this thing going. But it's important to me because I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for the family. I want more time with you guys, and set goals together. And that way, when you hit elite, you can celebrate with the family. Say, hey, guess what, kids? when we hit this goal, we're going to take you to this, we're going to take you to Disney World, or whatever you want to say. And that way they're pushing you to get on these, calls or do whatever you're doing to build your business, or take time out they understand, because you're doing it for your family. You're doing it to serve and impact others. The Bible says service to many leads to greatness. Well, when you have a business like this that's scalable and that is global, and that you can expand your reach, expand your territory, and make a positive impact in this many people's lives, that's why we're able to, earn the type of money John Melton and so many others make, is because you're able to impact and add value to so many people. So many people, all they know is just trading time for money, hours for dollars. It's a linear income. Well, you can't have time and money if you're trading one for the other. Well, this is a turnkey business that, quite honestly, my Xbox costs more than it costs to get started in this. So there's no risk in it. But yet it has the scalability to build, you can earn millions. I'm full disclosure, it's not average or typical, the earnings that you're going to make, but it's going to determine the amount of effort you put into it. But it is possible. If it's being done, guess what? If it's possible for you. You just have to become the person that's going to attract those people and work on yourself every day and plant those seeds. Every conversation you have is a seed that you're planting. Now, you can't plant a garden and eat from it the next day. You can't get pregnant on Friday and have a baby on Monday. But as long as you start planting those seeds now, make up in numbers what you lack in skill, but sift and sort. You don't have to convince. You don't have to talk people into doing this. There's hundreds of millions of people, actually billions of people now that we're global. I'm used to, like Glenn, being in the United States where there was only 300 million people. Now we're all over the globe. Go mess it up on 100 million. There's still 200 million left over just in your backyard, just in the United States. But the more you get out there and do it, the better you're going to be. But just believe that it can be done. Believe bigger, faster. Because, guys, we're human beings. We're capable. Think of the fact that you're looking at me right now on your computer screen or your iPhone or your phone, and I'm in Louisiana. I don't know where you're at. These guys are all in different parts of the country, and you're watching me live talk to you right now. Think how possible that actually sounds. There's nothing connected. There's no wires connecting my phone to you or anything. It's just energy going through the air. The fact that we live in an infinite possibility universe. There's anything's possible. So for you to ATM a couple of people and get them on a business, quite frankly, this is freaking easy business. This is not hard. Think about what you do for your job.
Right.
Think about the stress that takes on, the time it takes. If you treat this like a business, say, you know what, I'm going to give it 2 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years, but I'm going to be committed and I'm going to work at it. Why not master something that can set you and your family free? Why not, if you're going to put the time in to master something, why not master something that can give you time with your family, give you financial freedom, give you the ability to impact and serve lots of people and leave a legacy and make a difference? Because that's where the fulfillment comes in. That's what's rewarding about it. It's not the amount of money that you can make. That's just a byproduct of the amount of people that you've reached and impacted. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Jim Rohn, working on your job will make you a living. Working on yourself will make you a fortune. Just work on yourself and go out there and plant as many seeds as you can. Just do your best, sift and sort. Don't convince. Les Brown says, one convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. If you got to talk them into it, that's not your guy. That's not your lady. Just sift and sort and add value and be the person that can lead. Don't ask God to put 10,000 people in your organization if you're not the person that can lead them yet. Grow, read those books, listen, surround yourself with people that are growing and going to stretch you, and just do your best every day to live your best life. And that's going to inspire those around you to do the same. And this is the best vehicle that I've ever seen that gives you the ability to do that. So appreciate you letting me share, John.
Absolutely. And the craziest thing is we're just getting started. Literally, you walk around your neighborhood, you walk around and talk to people at the local, shopping mall, grocery store. Most people have never heard of Modere. Like, we are not a household name yet. But when we are, it'll be the people that were a part of Modere now And here in the next couple years, they're going to have the opportunity to capitalize. I mean, guys, we're opening up the country of India very soon. Like, you could literally introduce someone that introduces someone that introduces someone in India and have an entire organization in a totally different country on a totally different continent that most of you have probably never been to. That's the potential. So, Justin, you hit the nail on the head, man. We live in a universe of abundance, of limitless possibilities. Yes, in the beginning, it's uncomfortable. Yes, in the beginning, you're probably not going to have the skill set or the mindset or the capabilities. But hello, welcome to being an entrepreneur. That's how it is for all of us when we first get started. You got to do a lot more learning in the beginning than earning, but eventually you can remove the L and you'll start to see some money in your bank account, M's in your bank account. And I'm just really blessed to be in business with all these incredible leaders, this company, this team. And like I said, we're just getting started. So get back with the person that tagged you in this video and let us know also in the comments if you got some value from this conversation. Make sure you smash the heart button. Let Glenn, let Brandon, and let Justin know you appreciate them. And we're Audi 5000. Thanks, guys. Let's make it a great month. See you.